I'm here today to show you the installation procedure for our new Rhino rear door. We have made replacement doors for the rear door on the Rhinos to replace those of yours for your trucks that are damaged or are breaking, fatigued over time. The first thing that we're going to do is show you the removal process on how to remove the old door, and then I'll go over with you our new door and how to set that up and do the installation. But the first thing I want to show you, when we lift up the old door, you have both hinges to get this door off and on the ground. I'm sure if you've worked on these trucks, you replace the gas struts at one time or another. They're very simple to replace. You just pop the clip on the outside, pop it off the ball, and the gas strut will lay down. But you must hold the door while you're doing that, or it'll be painful. Then you have 3 hinge bolts that get removed on each side. We'll remove those 3 hinge bolts, and that's why you have to have a helper. You need at least one person, and if you have 2 available to help you through this installation, it'll work a lot better for you. But 2 is the minimum, 3 people preferred to do this swap. So right now I'm going to ask GW to come over and give me a hand, and we're going to remove the bolts from this door, and we're going to lift this door off the truck. Let me get that screwdriver for you. Okay, as you can see, we've got the old doors off and on its back. That's going to make the other hardware, the additional hardware that we need to use on the new door, available to us. You have a stainless steel plate that goes on that your gas strut's attached to. We'll be installing that plate when we start to go back together with the new door. This is the new G&G door that we fabricated. This is just the way it comes out of the crate, wrapped in bubble wrap and ready for the installation. So we're going to cut away now. Well, let's first take a look over at the truck. You can see that the door seals are intact, the ones on the side, and they should be intact on your truck as well. Leave those seals in place. You got one on each side. You'll also note that there's no seal on this top edge. That is on your old door. We're going to put a seal on that. If you look down at the bottom edge, you'll notice that it's dirty. It needs to be cleaned up. It does not have a seal. We're going to add a seal there as well. So right now, what we're going to do, we're going to cut away while we take a few minutes to clean the top edge up and prepare it for the seal. We'll clean the bottom and prepare it for the seal. We'll do the seal installs, and then we'll come back to you and show you how to continue on and complete the installation of the new door. Thank you. Okay, we're back. We have completed the cleanup and putting the stripping. We've got it across the top, as you can see, along that surface, and it seems to have bonded pretty well, and as well as across the bottom. The 2 side moldings are the originals that came on the truck. Those stayed. We're just about to take the new door and put the new door in place. GW is sitting up in the back of the truck. You will have to have someone in the back of the truck so that they can mark the locations of the holes from the hinges. The hinges sit in their normal place. We do not loosen the hinges. You will put the door up in place, and the hinges will lay naturally against the door, and we'll locate the holes that way, and I'm going to show you that in a moment. Each door has a roll of the weather stripping, the foam rubber. So in your box that your door came in, you will find all of the hardware, and you'll find a roll of weather stripping. But do take the time to clean up the surface so that it's completely clean and dry before you put this on. Once you do that, you won't have to worry about it coming back off. So right now I'm going to bring the door over, we're going to set it in place, and GW is going to mark it so that we can drill the holes in the proper location. Thing you'll notice that we've got a piece of 1/4 inch thick wood trim. This is to be used as a spacer. We put this on the bottom lip of the door of the body of the truck where the bottom of the door sits. That allows the door to rest on this when you put it into position. It's the proper spacing to have the door up 1/4 inch off of that bottom lip of the body. That will act as a spacer. So we're going to rest the door on that, lay the door into position, and then GW will mark the holes. Now you'll note also that the latch is in the locked position with the tongue down so that it goes inside the truck. That will lock it in that position. So as we set it up on there, that will drop in and the bottom of the door will stay in position, and I can lay the top of the door in. Should be perfect. Push the top out to me. Got it. Okay, I don't know if you can see it from there, but we have the 6 hole locations are marked clearly on both sides of the door. So we've got that, the hinge locations, the hinge holes are marked clearly, and we're about to install the stainless plates that are the support plates for the door lift. We'll take care of that and be back to you in just a second. Okay, we're back again. Seen the steps up to the point where we placed the door up against the back of the truck and marked for the hinges. What you use once you've marked for the hinges, the metal plates that the gas strut mounts are located on, take those plates off your old door. We had an extra set. You can see them on the old door next to me. Those plates, once you have the holes located for your hinges, you can lay the plate on top of those 3 hinge holes and center them up, and then all you have to do, mark and drill the 2 holes to mount the plate to the door. So they're the first 2 holes that you drill, and you're going to put the bolts through, and the bolts come to you. The hardware is sent to you. You have a carriage bolt, you have a large washer that goes under the head of the carriage bolt. You have a flat washer that will go on the surface on the inside, and a lock washer, and a nut. So you're going to come up through from the bottom, put your small flat washer, your lock washer, your nut bolt these two down, tighten these two. Now what I'm going to do, I've drilled them with a pilot hole. I use a 1/4-inch drill and drilled through the center of the marks of the location points. That makes it easier for the larger drill to go through without splitting the gel coat on the finished side of your door, because you're going through from the bottom through the outside where the gel coat is. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch drills, switch drill bits. The handiest thing that you could use to do this is a battery-powered Milwaukee drill gun. And very gently allow the drill to find its center, and when it touches the fiberglass, speed it up. It goes right through, nice and clean. Now we do the next hole. Again, nice and clean. Now I'll do the 3 hinge holes. That's 1. Two. Finish the 3rd hole. Now that they're drilled, you have 5 holes, the 2 that mount the plate, the 3 that mount the hinge. We're not going to install the hinge holes, the hinge bolts in the plate, but we are going to install the plate to the door with the 2 mounting bolts. So the first thing we do is come up through from the bottom, flat washer, lock washer, and a nut. Now we can tighten these up and lock them in place. Center the plate up over top of the 3 holes for the hinge. Once these are locked in place, I've already done the one on the other side. When these are locked in place, now I'm going to place the door up on the truck. I'll put the bolts through from the outside for the hinges. With GW on the inside, he'll bring the hinge plates down over the bolts, install the flat washer, lock washer, and nut on the inside, and he'll snug them up, and we'll check the location of the door. You do have some movement on the hinges, up, down, and sideways to center it. Once it's snug and in place and it's centered, then he'll lock them tightly, and the installation of the door as far as mounting it is complete, and then we'll go on to finishing the door latch and checking it out for the final step of the installation. One other thing I wanted to point out, as I mentioned before, we use a 1/4-inch drill for the pilot holes before you do the finish holes, before you finish drill them. The drill that you want to use on that is a 15-30 seconds diameter drill for your finish hole. That allows the 3/8 carriage bolts, the shoulders on the 3/8 carriage bolts, to sit down in the fiberglass on the outside surface of the shell, and the 15-30 seconds will allow those shoulders to go in, and they give some grip so that they don't turn when you're tightening and locking them up. So you're using a 1/4-inch drill bits, and my recommendation is you start with new drill bits when you begin this project. Nice sharp 1/4-inch drill and a 15-30 seconds drill bit. Okay. Okay, as you can see, I placed the door up on the back of the truck. These are the 2 mounting bolts for the plate. We put 1 bolt in the bottom of the hinge mount on both sides, and they're just snug. Now we're going to put the other 2 bolts in, the top on each side, and just snug them. That allows us, there's enough play in this, that allows us to move the door slightly from side to side, up and down, to get it centered and even. So we're going to go ahead and tighten up the other bolts, put the other 2 bolts in place and snug them up. Okay, as you can see, the door has been mounted. It's centered on the body of the truck. The latch is holding, but it's holding only from the center position on the latch. The two rods have not been installed. I open the door, it swings up, the two plates are in place. What we're going to do now is install the ball mounts for that, for the door, and put the gas struts on, which will allow the door to hold itself up and in position. So that'll take just a couple of minutes to do. We'll install the ball mounts and put the gas struts in place, and I'll be back in just a moment. Okay, we're back. The new door, G&G rear door for the Rhino, has been installed. We installed the locking rods on this particular door. That's all set. The other thing that you will note on here is this is our G&G one-piece door latch. It's much different than the ones you're used to buying that are two pieces. They're about $250. $99 for this door latch. You can get them on our website. They're easy to install. They're serviceable. You can grease them. If they begin to bind, you can take them apart, clean, and grease them. So we've assembled this with our new one-piece door latch. The rods are on. The door is installed. Gas struts are on. We'll close it up. Make sure the latch is closed properly. And the door is on the side of the door. We put a coating on the very edge, being fiberglass with a gel coat. We put a coating on it. It's a little bit rough to the touch. That's to protect the edge, to keep it from chipping. So we're all set. It's all done. If you have any questions when you go to install your door, give us a call. We'll be glad to walk you through it. Very simple. Take your old door off, lay it to the side, put your new door next to it, transfer your hardware, get it mounted, and just take your time. And if you have any questions, give us a call. Watch the video once or twice before you attempt this. Thank you.